Senator Dagenais, what do you hope to get from these witnesses that you're going to be calling for your committee?
After the meeting yesterday, and we received a vote to approve my motion, now we will have a steering committee next Monday, and with the chair and the vice chair, Senator Mercer, and now we will prepare a list of witnesses. First of all, we will invite Vice Admiral Norman, National Defense Mr. Saijan, and General Vance. And Senatress McFedrin, they would like to have the commissioner of the RCMP. Now, we will, on the list, now we will have 4 names. And if other colleagues from other members of the Senate committee, they would like to have other witnesses, we will prepare a list. And after this, we will invite all the witnesses to come to the meeting for National Defense Committee.
The Defense Minister, Minister Saijan, has said today that he would be willing to appear before the committee. We haven't heard from General Vance, the Chief of Defense Staff, yet. But obviously the big question is, what happens if former Vice Admiral Norman decides not to appear, or decides to appear with conditions, because we've been told he's thinking of starting legal action, and he's also still a member of the forces, and he's bound by certain constraints.
I understand the situation of Vice Admiral Norman. First of all, we will invite Vice Admiral Norman. If he refuses, that is decision. And I explained to my colleague yesterday, it's so important during 2 years. He's on the public, on the newspaper, and his reputation is very bad in the public now. He have the opportunity to explain the situation that's on the public tribune. I offer this tribune to Vice Admiral Norman. If you refuse, I will respect his decision, because I understand the situation of Vice Admiral Norman. But my feeling, he can come, but he can answer to all of questions, and I'm sure he will prepare our answers. Mm-hmm. But first of all, we will invite. If he refuses, for myself, I don't know for my other colleagues, I'm a deputy chair of this committee, I don't make a pressure on Vice Admiral Norman, and I understand his situation.
Can you get to the bottom of the matter? Can you produce a fair report if Vice Admiral or former Vice Admiral Norman doesn't appear, and you only hear from, say, the Chief of Defense Staff Vance and the Minister Saijan?
We don't know for the future, but it's so important to have this meeting, and I'm sure National Defense Minister, he refused to reinstall Vice Admiral Norman is in function. Mm-hmm. I don't know why. And I told this question last Monday to National Defense Minister. I'm sure I will ask the same question. Mm-hmm. But after this, it's so important, first of all, with prepare the list of the witness with the steering committee, and after this we will wait for the answer of the witness. Normally, in my opinion, we will begin this meeting around 10 June, mm-hmm. And if we have 4 witnesses, normally in one day, a panel, each person, they have 1 hour to prepare and for the meeting for the national defense. And we have 4 days available. But now, I understand Mr. Senator Mercer, and he told yesterday at the meeting, Mr. Dagenais, we will call Mr. Harper and Mr. Peter McKay. I don't have a problem with this, Senator Mercer, but we will call Mr. Trudeau and Mr. Scott Bryson.
Well, you have time, though. I mean, one of the complaints about the procedure that you're starting, and this was Senator Mercer, who's another vice chair, a deputy chair of the committee. Yeah. He says there's no way you'll be able to get to the bottom of this by June the 20th, which is what you're setting as a target for producing a report.
For myself, it's not a government bill. It's not a private bill. That's just a motion to study the situation of Vice Admiral Norman. Mm-hmm. And if we must have a meeting during July and August, we will have a meeting.
In a word, some people accuse you of being partisan about launching this whole inquiry. How do you respond to that in a word?
I explained to my colleagues, that's my other career. I'm a former police officer. I understand the situation of Mr. Norman. He's a military, and normally, I'm sure he didn't like this situation, is just give the opportunity to Mr. Norman. Mr. Norman, now I will invite you to the committee. If you accept this invitation, that's an opportunity for you. It's not a partisan game. Give the chance to the Vice Admiral Norman. Give the chance to this person.
Okay, Senator Dagenais, thank you very much for speaking with us. We'll watch this with interest.
It's a pleasure for me.